Hello and welcome to this second look exploring session looking at Wealth and Health by the Unknown, an interlude written during the reign of Queen Mary. We're reasonably comfortable with a date of certainly registered in the Stationer's Register in 1557, so it's probably written a few years prior to that, though it has been adjusted when it eventually does get printed during the reign of Queen Elizabeth, so there are some post-Mary adjustments to the text. And this is, one of our second looks looking at plays from the reign of Queen Mary. For those who want to know, the plays that we know of from the reign, Gamma-Gurton's Needle, available on the podcast, as well as on the YouTube channel. Res Publica, soon to be available in full on the podcast, he said, fingers crossed. The Tragedy of Iphigenia, adapted by Lady Lumley, also hopefully available on the podcast by the time this goes out. Jack Juggler, available on the podcast. You may notice a theme here is that a lot of these plays are available in full cast audio adaptations, or a lot of work has been done and made available on those plays. There's also a Jacob and Esau, Impatient Poverty, and this play Wealth and Health, which have at least got second look exploring sessions as well as first look, and other material on those may come along. Now the play opens with the play text as it comes to us opens with a general appeal saying that four may easily play this play. This is a lie. You cannot do it with fewer than 7. Unless you do some very strange doubling effects with your actors. So it's a play that sadly mentions at least 5 songs, of which I don't think we have any lyrics at all. So I have asked everyone, as this is a second look and we're going to do it at pace, just to mark any song that you think you're supposed to be singing with a la or something along those lines, just so that you know that there is a song there, but we're not going to attempt to sing songs because, as I say, we have no lyrics with which to work from. So that's a thing to add for the future. But the second look is all about pace and energy, so we're going to get a sense of how this flows at us. And so, reading today, the part of Wealth is...
Hi, I'm Eric, and I'm here.
Indeed. Reading the other part of the title, Health, is...
Alan in Suffolk, trying to be healthy.
Reading Liberty is...
Muted. Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm in the northwestern United States, and I have a jaunty hat.
Reading Ill Will is...
Hi, my name's Elizabeth, and I hail from snowy Essex.
Reading Shrewd Wit is...
Aliki, Chapple, from the land of wit, Athens, Greece.
Reading Remedy is...
Valentina, Vinci.
And finally, reading Hans. Hans Beerpot is...
I am Greg, and I forgot my clogs.
Yes, and I'm your host, Robert Crighton. I will not be reading stage directions. I'm going to be pootling away, tidying up the script as we go along, because this is a play that hasn't had any kind of modern edition since 1908. So it's one of those slightly frustrating things of, I've got nothing I can crib from. I'm making decisions as we go along. Over 100 years since anyone's given this an edition. That's not really very good, people. Anyway, we're going to give it some love now, and so opening the play, in theory, there should be a ballad of 2 parts, sung by Wealth and Health, but sadly we don't know what it is, so we go straight into Wealth speaking.
Why is there no courtesy now I am come? I trow that all the people have been dumb, or else, so God help me and hallowed them, they were almost asleep. No words I heard, nor yet no talking, no instrument went, nor ballad singing. What ails you all thus to sit dreaming? Of whom take ye care? Of my coming ye may be glad, therefore I pray you not be sad. For all your desires shall be had, I can amend your cheer. By God, I think ye have forgotten me. I am Wealth of this realm, look upon me. For I am to every man loving and friendly, for Wealth hath no peer.
Brother Wealth, have ye not yet done? Ye praise yourself above the moon. Every man perceive thereby soon that you lack discretion.
Wherefore, by God, I cannot say too much. I am so wealthy of substance and rich in all the world. Where is one such as I am of comparison?
Wealth is good, I cannot deny. Yet praise yourself too much ye may, for wealth oftentimes doth decay, and wealth is nothing sure.
Wealth hath ever been in this country, and here I purpose still for to be, for this is the land most meet for me, and here I will endure.
Therein ye speak full lovingly, for in this realm wealth should be. Yet no displeasure, I pray you heartily, but in the way of communication. And for pastime I would speak some ways, of no comparison, nor to you no dispraise. I do not intend that manner always, but for recreation.
Brother, whatsoever ye say to me, I will hear you patiently. I am content, and thank you heartily. Begin, and say your pleasure.
I thank you heartily, then will I somewhat unto my purpose apply. Though wealth be praised marvellously, yet to mine understanding, wealth is so mutable, and that in shame, and wealth is haughty and proud of name. Wealth is cruel and in great blame, for wealth is ever wavering.
To whom have I done any harm, can ye say? Ye slander me now, yet I trust I may answer for myself in every manner way. Ye will not deny that.
God forbid but ye should do so, and ye may do it whether I will or no. In likewise I must answer you also, when ye say not true. Though I be but to you a poor man, yet health I height, the same I am, that is desired universally than. Some calls me as good as you.
As I, married, there indeed you do compare. Such words might bring you soon in care. Lewd person, thou art not aware of what substance I am.
Yes, I can tell what you are. Be not displeased. Wealth is of great substance, that cannot be denied. Yet show your commodities, and ye shall be answered. I promise you, wealth is fugitive.
What sayest thou? Am I a tagitive? I was never so taken up in my life, nor called unsure. Well, I will make no strife. Yet, whereas thou dost say that I should show my commodities always the best for myself, whereof I ask praise, if I should stand here all my life days, yet I could not say. Nor half the benefits that cometh of me, it cannot be told, nor recited shortly. Wealth is the flower of all thing earthly, that you cannot deny. First, God save our sovereign lady the queen, with all the council and all that with them have been. Am not I wealth with them ever at one? Who should be there but I? Men of the law and jolly rich merchants there be, wealthy both, of goods and lands without comparison is in their hands. I, wealth, have all treasure.
Oh, good sir, of whom cometh all this? Of God only. To you no thank you wis. And yet man's wealth stands not all in riches. I dare say that boldly. When a man hath a competent living, with the grace of God that passeth all thing, love of his neighbour and good reporting, then is he wealthy. Wealth of goods is but a fame. He is wealthy that hath a good name. Every wise man will covet the same. For other wealth I not reck. If a man have never so much good name, every wise man will covet the same. If his dispositions be naught and wood, then he is but a wretch.
Nay, thou art a wretch and a fool unwise to the wealth of riches thus to despise. That dost thou not see all the world arise by goods and substance? He that hath plenty of silver and gold may have all thing whatsoever he would. When can wealth lack, seeing all thing is sold, and wealth is of assurance?
I deny that. Your saying is naught. Grace, heaven, nor cunning cannot be bought without great pain and good deeds wrought. Else man cannot them have.
Stop thereat and hold thy peace. May not men buy heaven with richess as to build churches and make byways? Such deeds man's soul doth save.
Yea, but ye must mark one thing. These goods came with wrongdoing. Shall ye have heaven for so spending, or yet any meed? Nay, except that man himself do meek, and make resistance the right honour to seek, else all such good deeds is not worth a leak. Well, hereof take heed.
Why, thinkest thou that all men which hath wealth get at their goods with bribery and stealth? Thy report is naught. Therefore, health, I counsel thee to say the best.
So I will, but yet I must say true. And now a little more I will say to you. Much sorrow and care wealth doth brew, he is seldom in rest. When a man is a little height and wealthy, and hath in his chest treasures plenty, then will he wrangle and do shrewdly by his power and might. With his neighbours he will go to law, and wreak his malice for a value of a straw. Wealth is fickle and out of awe, wilful in wrong or right.
Thou speakest with a slanderous tongue, all of evil will, and yet it is wrong. Wealth in this realm hath been long, of me cometh great honour, because that I, wealth, hath great port, all the world hither doth resort. Therefore I, wealth, am this realm's comfort, and here I will endure.
So I would ye should, and I shall do the same. Health I am called, and that is my name. If I would not abide here, I were to blame, for here I am well cherished. Yet say yourself now indifferently, and if every man do not love me, health as well as wealth, yea, verily, therefore I dare be reported.
Why should they love thee? That would I know, as well as me. I pray you, show I am the superior of high and low. No man may compare with me.
To show why I will not be afraid, for I can bide by that I have said. If wealthy men be very well apaid, or much they set you by, but of wealth, if they have ne'er so much, goods, treasure, and gold, and be called rich, yet if they lack health, their pain is such that they were better die. A man to wear gold and be in pain, what joyeth he? None, but would be fain to give all his treasure for health plain, or else he were very mad. For if a man be ne'er so poor, yet if he have health, that is a treasure. Then for his living he may labour, and his heart be glad.
I never marked this much, nor understood that health was such a treasure, and command so good. Wherefore I am sorry, and will change my mood. Now I pray you forgive me.
I will forgive, or else I were to blame, and I pray you for to forgive me the same. I love you heartily, and will praise your name, if it please you to keep my company.
La 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 la. Why, tarry, sirs, whither are you going? I see well you look not for my coming. Lo, out of sight, out of remembering, absence is the cause of strangeness. What look ye on? Wherefore are you so strange? From your fellow liberty doth your mind change? In your company I was wont to range. What needs all this business?
By liberty, now I do not set, seeing that health and I am met as felloweth together. No man shall let me for to love him best.
Let me hear what ye do say. Then ye are about to cast me away? How haps this? Marry, then I may go pick straws and take me rest. I pray you, tell me whom have I offended? If I have made a fault, it shall be amended. With so short warning, let me not be voided. I trow you yet do but jest.
Why do you make this cavillation? We intend to make no alteration. Wealth and I have had communication. He is my friend of old.
What was the matter? I pray you tell. Methinks I ought to be of counsel. Or else I promise you, you do not well. With you I should behold.
The matter is done. We are agreed. To reason it more, it shall not need. Oh, brother health, thou art indeed more preciouser than gold.
Cloudspotty, how cometh this gear to pass? I am cast out at the cart's arse. The world is nothing as it was, for I am here refused.
Why be you so angry that we do agree? Then are ye not wise? For if ye love me, I will love him again. So it should be, or else I were misadvised.
Then of my love ye set no store. My company I see well you look not for. Farewell, I will get me out of door. Yet I am your betters, and so I am called.
Such presumptuous words will have a fall. Your comparison is but feeble, and small. How can ye do what nothing at all as you have reputed?
What were ye both two, were not I? Wretches and caitiffs, look not so high. I think no scorn, hardly, for I may be your peer. If wealth have never so much substance, lacking liberty, and were endurance. Within a whit, I am in assurance, ye would pray me come near. If health be never so lust and strong, yet if liberty were kept from him long, then sorrow and care should be his song. It would abate your cheer. Fie of wealth, which lacketh liberty, fie of health, and be in captivity, fie of riches, and lack good company, liberty hath no peer.
Will ye hear how he doth clatter? What need ye to rehearse all this matter? Ye know that we twain are for any other. Liberty must needs have still. Liberty on us is glad to wait. Ye stand too far in your own conceit. Ye wis liberty you can make no bait, to catch us at your will.
Now there ye lie, I can suffer no longer. Wealth for liberty does labor ever, and health for liberty is a great store. Therefore, set me not so light.
Liberty, I pray ye reason no more. You are as welcome to us as you were before. Indeed, of liberty it is a great suitor. Therefore, welcome by this light.
Now I thank you both full kindly. Your strange words did a little grieve me. And now, at your commandment, I am ready, and at your will.
Ha 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 ha. Marry, I am come at the first call. Will, your own man, have me who shall, for I am Will, servant to you all. Ye shall not need to send for me.
Who is acquainted with this man? He is very homely and little good he can to come in here so boldly. Then drive him away quickly.
Why, I came not till I was called. Your own will openly ye named. Then I came apace, lest I should be blamed. Therefore, I pray you, let me bide still.
Whose will or what will doth he mean? Thou art not my will, I forsake thee clean. My will and their wills is often seen. Our wills can none ill.
Alas, good masters, I can none ill. Yet by my troth, I am your evil will. Your will and your will and your will. Therefore, keep me. I love ye by God's mother.
This is a strange saying unto me. My will, your will, and his will. This cannot be, for in our wills is great diversity, for one is not like another.
Yet, by Christ, your own will I am, the maddest will and the merriest stand. For God's sake, now let me be your man, till ye have better acquaintance.
I perceive this fellow is kind, and oweth to us good will in mind. Some kinds again, let him find. We let him have some furtherance.
By God, sir, and I durst be so bold, acquaintance of this man claim I would, and kindred too, if the truth were told. We be of one consanguinity.
How so? Let me hear that, I pray thee heartily.
Will and liberty is of ancestry old. Without liberty, will dare not be bold. And where will lacketh, liberty is full cold. Therefore, will and liberty must needs be of kin.
Indeed, as he saith, it may well be, for will ever longeth unto liberty. Therefore, good friend, welcome to me. I pray you all be good to him.
For your sake, he's welcome to us all. Let him come to our place, then he shall have succor of us and help withal. Now we will depart.
Will ye go hence? I thank ye, masters, with all my heart. I will seek you out. I warrant you, fear not. Now they be gone. I am glad by Saint Mary, a little while here I purpose to tarry. How to deceive wealth, health, and liberty, now must I devise. For I am a child that is past grace, ill will I am called, that in every place doth much mischief, this is a plain case. Virtue I do utterly despise, but if they wist what I were, then of my purpose I should be never the near. I will keep my tongue, lest that I mar my whole intent and will. But now I marvel by this day, where shrewd wit is gone astray. Some crafty touch is in his way. I hear him, peace, stand still.
La 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 la, Dieu vous garde plaisance in 7, or on mum chance. Lord Yonkers dare advance to play a groat or twain. Lo, here I have in store 2 or 3 groats, and no more. I take great thought, therefore, for to keep it. It is much pain. I come now out of a place where is a company of small grace, thieves and whores that spends apace, and they were drunk in all the sort. One of their purses I did espy out of his sleeve, where it did lie, and one winked on me with his eye, but there began the sport. There false falsehood, and I, crafty wit, got the purse. Lo, here I have it. I came my way and let him sit, smoke and shit and arse together. And if that I had ill will here, with this money we would make good cheer. Gentle brother Will, I pray thee, appear, for thou art in some corner.
I would come in, but I am afeard, lest that I be taken by the beard. With some catchpole, I have heard how thou hast stolen a purse.
Thou whoreson, art thou mad? Come in, I say. This is not the first hazard that I have scaped. If I make an hand to take myself gay, what am I the worse?
From thy company I cannot abide. I must needs hold upon thy side. Ill will and shrewd wit, who can hide? For they will be together.
Now welcome, Will, and what cheer? By God, I thought thee for 1,000 year. I thought for thee 1,000 year. Peace for God's body, who cometh here? Hans Beerpot, a scone router.
La! Good maiden scone routers by the God of God. Ik heist down scone for Steve ye niet. Die kwistiken man, ik be je doet. Van de groot bombard wel als je would. Dat ik 1000 van inhabit met. Ik beste mannequin van de keinen denglita. De groot kiezer kind east bijna his keskuta.
Hear ye not, drunken Hans, how he begins to prate? The malapert Fleming is a little too checkmate.
Let the name alone, for his name is War. Such drunken Flemings your company will mar.
Ik best nin einand, ik best in soch, je vechten nette wel, ik voorsteef je in doch.
Comest here late with your gownd? Stand near. It becomes you better to handle a pot of beer.
Ah, dat macht ik weer dan. Ik kan skink flip. Ta bez fru, ik bring es bro. Begots neverig.
The horse a knave, by the mass is drunk. A winking for deep his eyne be clean sunk.
Ik forever je wels, je zegdag is klep. Nelleke, kom te horen voor een oude crep.
Well, Coppin, I pray thee, heartily tell us true. Wherefore comest thou hither for anything to sue?
Ik vege aan bombardeer van de koning wij. Het beheb 2 skelling, die daar ik kon schot de kolven.
Nay, ye shall walk, a Fleming knave. Will ye not see? We have English gunners enow. There is no room empty.
Ik best om bombard mot in je te me spreken. Wat zeg je? Bonds it salis Vodestein.
We speak not to thee, thou art a scorn man, but go thy way, they be not here that promote thee can.
Can't ye me at the house dagen van de grot here?
Hans, you must go to the court and for wealth inquire.
What zegt die wealth? Denk is not net her wealth best in Flanders. Ik myself brought him door.
Beshrew your whoreson Fleming's heart, therefore. Indeed, as he saith, by war in Flanders there is wealth.
Zegt ye dat, brouwer? By the mother God dan. Good nacht, ik moet wat te send Catherine to Milan store.
Is he gone? Farewell, Hannekin bows. I pray God give him a hounded drouth, for I trow a knave brought him to the house. But now, brother wit, we must devise how that we may be in service with wealth alway. Let me hear what thou canst do or say to help for to contrive it.
For thy pleasure, that I shall. This will I do, first of all, flatter and lie, and evermore call them my good masters still. Then with swearing, lying, and palling, bribery, theft, and privy picking, thus I, shrewd wit, will ever be doing, I warrant thee ill will.
I can thank thee, this is well devised, and I ill will would have every man despised. But now another thing must be contrived, or else all will be naught. There is one they call good remedy. In this realm he hath great authority. He is a noble man and much worthy. Many things he hath wrought. He is called lust, discreet, and indifferent, willing to fulfill his sovereign's commandment. He is not afraid to do right punishment. Therefore of him I am afraid.
So am I too. This maketh me very sad. Yet oftentimes I have been hard bestrad. Now that I'm warned of him, I'm very glad. Some crafty wile for him shall ye had.
Peace, no more words, but mum. Methink here must wealth come. Kneel down and say such devout orison, that they may hear us pray. Now Jesu save wealth, health, and liberty.
Sirs, you will have both God's blessing. So are you both worth your praying. You are well disposed and of good living. I will love you the better alway.
Sir, this do we use every day, for wealth, health, and liberty to pray. This same is my brother, to you I say. He is an hard, honest man.
Forsooth, master, I am his brother. To be your servant was my coming hither. As long as we could be together, ye shall not perish then.
To have you both to service, I am content. How say you, Liberty? Will you thereto consent? Wit and will God hath us lent. We may be glad of them.
If we should refuse will and wit, we were to blame, for they be fit. Therefore, by my will, they shall not flit. There they be welcome to me.
God thank you, masters, all three. Ye shall find us poor, but true we cannot be. My tongue stumbles, I cry you mercy. We will be true, I should say.
Sirs, go your way home unto one place, and we will hire us after a pace. And when we come, we shall set you in case to have a living alway.
Then look ye do both truly and just, for we must it put in you great trust. All our household guide ye must. Behave yourself well.
Masters, fear not, for I have wit enough to beguile myself and to beguile you. I have beguiled many one, I may say to you. I pray that you keep that in counsel.
Beware of that. What doth he say? Beguile us all. Yet I charge thee, nay, ye shall not beguile us, if I may. I will beware betime.
Sir, be not angry, I you pray. The fool wotteth not he doth say. He meaneth that he will be profitable alway, and save you many things.
What he meaneth I cannot tell, but his saying is not well. Depart hence, sirs, by my counsel, and tarry us at our lodging.
Now, an it please you, will you hear any singing? Therein I tell you I am somewhat cunning. You shall hear and you list.
Sir, I pray you sing an you can.
Now will I begin like a lusty blood dam. La
La la la.
Sirs, now go your way. Of you I am glad, as of any servants that ever I had. But these can do both good and bad. We must needs have such men. What were we if we lacked will? And without wit we should live ill. Therefore, will and wit I will keep still. I promise you, I love them.
Sir, your mastership is heartily welcome. Take your place here above, as it is reason.
I pray you pardon us. We know not what ye be. Ye seem a man of honour and of great authority.
Sir, to know wherefore ye come, we are desirous.
I am he that ought for to be well known, of you three especially, and of duty, great pain, and business as for mine own. For you I have taken because I love you heartily. To maintain you is all my desire and faculty, yet hard it is to do. The people be so variable, and many be so wilful, they will not be reformable.
Sir, I pray you pardon us of our ignorance now. I see you well know us better than we do you.
I pardon you, for I do know you well both. Wealth and health is your right names, the which England to forbear were very loth. For by wealth and health cometh great fames, many other realms for our great wealth, shames that they dare not presume, nor they dare not be bold to strive again England, or any right withhold.
Sir, ye be welcome. I beseech you, show us your name.
Good remedy, forsooth, I am the same.
If I durst be so bold, I would pray you heartily to show us a part of your great authority.
My authority is given to me, most special, to maintain you three in this realm to be. What mine intent is I will tell, but not all, for that were too long to rehearse, of a surety. And I desire you all for to be loving to me, for your own ease come wealth and profit.
Good remedy. Then we must desire your aiding, for by good remedy cometh all our preferring.
All that I do intend is ye will thereto agree, and to be reformable for your own ease. It is not the thing that lieth only in me. But my good will, therefore, I will not cease to have your love and favour, and thereby to please all the world over, and to promote this realm, that you three may prosper. Ye perceive what I mean? The chief part of all wealth lies in great estates. Their substance and lands is right commendable. Prelates of the church is wealthy of riches. Merchants have merchandise and goods incomparable. Men of law and franklins is wealthy, which is laudable. Thus wealth of riches is divided diverse ways, and to these many charges come nowadays.
My heart rejoiceth to hear your good reporting. Much are we bound to God, which provideth all thing.
Forsooth, here is not half that I could rehearse, the benefits of God that he showeth to you, wealth. Consider Englishmen, how valiant they be and fierce. Of none nations none such when they have their health. No land can do us harm, but with falsehood or stealth. Remember what number of men, or artillery, and good ordnance, specially the grace of God, which is our chief furtherance. If there be any that will grudge, surmise, or do again wealth, health, and liberty, then must I, for the same, show mine authority and power for to remedy it, so that none of you shall diminish nor amiss betain. Aye, Good remedy, therefore, may and will speak without blame for the Commonwealth, and health both of the soul and body. That is my office and power, and therefore I have my authority.
Our Lord continue ye, and we thank you heartily both for your good instruction and for your kindness that you intend so well for us, good remedy. When we have need, we will desire your goodness.
When we be infect in soul or body, then will I seek good remedy for succour. As yet, I thank God I have no need greatly. If I have, then will I seek to have your favour.
Sir, now we will depart hence with your license for other diverse business that we must have together.
Sirs, I am content. Now, when ye will depart, to God I commit you. I will not make you tarry, but yet I pray with all my mind and heart, take heed, in any wise eschew ill and shrewd company. If a man be never so, he shall lose his name, and to some vice they will him tempt. Therefore beware of such people, and from them be exempt.
Yes, I warrant you. For such I will beware. Farewell, good remedy, and well to fare.
Pray God be your speed, and preserve you from pain. It is my mind you should prosper. I would have it so, fain.
Here is none of our acquaintance. We have made 2 long tarriance. That will ye say, perchance, and they be gone home. Come away apace.
Nay, by God, not so hasty. A little while we will tarry. Good even, sir. Do you marry? Dwell ye in this place?
Nay, good fellow, I dwell not here. Wherefore dost thou that inquire? Orderst thou aught with any here? Speak, be not afraid.
By God, I would I had your gown, and were a mile without the town. Thereon I would borrow a crown. It is I that so said.
Now, lookest thou on him half a scorn? I promise you he is a scant gentleman born. What sayest thou in his face?
For somewhat in his face I look. Indeed, his mastership stands a crook. For false shrews both of you I took, and children that be past grace.
I will swear for him, as for these years 20, that he hath been ever as true as I, yet sometime he will steal and make a lie. He is of my alliance.
In good faith, the same, think I, that ye be both like, full and thrifty. Sirs, how do you live? Show me quickly, or I shall put you in durance.
How live we? Marry, our meat comest thou hither for to threat? So lordly Sir Witham doth speak. From whence doth he come? Can ye show?
What dost thou ail? Canst thou tell? Hast thou anything with us to mell? By the mass thy hands doth tickle. Thou shalt bear me a blow.
You false thieves, I know ye well. I shall let your purpose every deal, ill will and shrewd wit, the devil of hell, take ye both for me.
Marry, thou liest. Our names be not so. Call us but wit and will. Add no more thereto. If thou dost, thou were as good know we shall handle you shrewdly.
Sirs, farewell. Here I will no longer abide. For you both shortly I will provide, that all your false craft shall be outtried, and your subtlety known.
To go so soon, the whoreson was wise. Therefore some now I must devise, that each man may wealth, health, and liberty despise, or else he will mar all our matter. Brother, what? Let me alone. When they come, you shall see me anon. Complain of him unto them, each one, and put him out of favour.
Peace, no more words, for they come yonder.
Sirs, I am glad that you be here. How doth all our household? With them what cheer? Is everything in order there after our intent?
Yea, sir, they be all merry and glad. With revel and rout sometime they be mad. Pipe whore, hop thief, every knave and drab is at our commandment.
What do you say? Then you're to blame, and we put you in trust for the same. To keep such rule, it is a shame. It is not for our honour.
By the mass the whoreson doth lie, there is no such rule by God's body. A man may break his neck as lightly as his fast in your kitchen or cellar, truly.
With that neither am I content. I would there should be liberality competent, and with honesty, it is convenient that our neighbour fare the better.
You be angry with all that we have done? Come away, brother, let us go hence soon. I know a new master where we shall be welcome. God be with you, gentle master.
Why will ye be gone for a word? Peradventure we did but board. Bethink you should your master afford for to speak my mind.
Nay, nay, I can tell what was the matter. Remedy was here, and he did flatter. We trust he more than us, and better. But mark the end what he shall find.
With good remedy we spake indeed. To follow his counsel we had need. He warned us that we should take heed of excess and prodigality.
I marvel you speak so of good remedy. It is I that can do more than he. Wit can make shift at necessity when remedy cannot be heard. I know some that hath this 1,000 years sought good remedy, and yet never the near. Wit can put remedy by. Yea, this is clear. Wit is a crafty lad.
And Will is an ungracious stay. Will hath done many things men say. And if ye let Wit and Will go his way, ye will repent it soon.
Why, what cause have you to go your way? You shall abide with us, though you say nay. I will follow Wit and Will alway, and so I have ever done.
If I wist all my masters would so do, then from your service I would not go. Speak now, whether you will or no. Let us know your mind.
Sirs, you be welcome to me plain, and for your company I am full fain. I had liefer suffer great pain than to leave my wit and will.
Then let us go hence. With kindness my heart do kill.
I pray you, let us go. Wherefore do we bide still?
As such in my first purpose, hither I am come again. I trow you know me, good remedy is my name, that every day doth take great labour or pain to amend all faults. I am chosen to the same. If any man's conscience here doth grudge or shame, having in himself remorse, and mends in time and space, I am good remedy, and God is full of mercy and grace. Therefore I will stand aside, and a little while remain, of wealth, health, and liberty for to inquire how they be ordered, and if any man complain, I will be glad to show my remedy. Methink I see one appear.
Ik got thuis, ik myself ben komt hier Scotlandsman. Ik moet in ander land lopen, all is quite done.
Thou, Fleming, from whence comest thou, and what dost thou here?
Ik myself komt from St. Catherine's Docks, no, but ik can bear.
Get thee thither again, and tarry here no longer.
Sir, ik moet met u spreken, ik myself be on schoolmaker.
What, and thou be? Therewith I have nothing to do.
Ik test al verloor, coping is done, ik must not do that too.
I pray thee, go hence, for thou dost trouble me ill.
Nee, ik zeker, wil not gaan, ik word veel lief hostil.
There is too many aliens in this realm, but now I, good remedy, have so provided that Englishmen shall live the better daily.
Wat zegt je? Oh, by God's trust, that is the great man. Be tomorrow, God, Ik myself love the scone Englishman.
Fie on thee, fluttering knave. Fie on you, aliens, all, I say. Ye can, with craft and subtle figure, Englishman's wealth away.
Oh, schoonmaster, ik heb gehoord binnen de staten jaar, ik kan Scott de coveren en ik kan be die behorder.
Trust seas to provide that wealth from you have I shall.
Ik zeg to you that wealth is lopen in andere country. Wat heb ik daar brach? Verstaan je net, zet me.
I understand thee well. Yet thou liest like a knave. Wealth is here in England, and wealth still I trust we shall have.
Ik meant nog God, ik love the Englishman by min come by St. Catherine and ik shall be given stoppen.
Get thee hence, drunken Fleming, thou shalt tarry no longer here.
Moet het net meer hebben, voor de zal ik gewist kusken. Ik wil de keizer gaan, de zal ik wel skinniken.
Is he gone? I pray God the devil go with him. Where is wealth, health, and liberty? I would see them come in.
Oh, good Lord, help me by your license, my sovereign. I am homely to come here in your presence, thus diseased. Need constraineth me, for remedy I would have fain. I am infect, both body and soul. I pray you, be not displeased.
Why, what ail you? Show me yet. I do not know. Glad I am to remedy any man that is infirmity. I perceive you by your physiognomy that ye are very weak, feeble, and low. Yet show me your grief, and I will help you gladly.
Gracious remedy, I thank you. Yet I am half ashamed to show you my malady and my name. I was called Health. Therefore I am well worthy to be punished and blamed, because I have not followed your counsel. But all thing may be suffered, save wealth.
Are you Health? This maketh me very pensive and sad. Yet be of good cheer, and show how you were infect. To remedy you and succour you, I would be very glad, for God will punish the people when they be detected.
Sir, I thank God thereof, for well worthy I am. My conscience to judge, some trouble have I must. Amends I will make to God, and if I can, wit and will have deceived me. In them I put my trust.
If thou have done amiss, and be sorry therefore, then half amends is made, for that is contrition. Let that pass. Now will I ask you one thing more. Where be wealth and liberty? Be they of good disposition?
As for wealth, he has fallen in decay and necessity by waste and war through ill will and shrewd wit, and liberty is kept in durance and captivity. God help us all, and send us good remedy for it.
For to hear this tale, it maketh me and my heart heavy. Yet be of good comfort. God is full of grace, and I am good.
Sir, then I beseech you, help us in the way of charity.
I would fain, but I cannot tell which way to begin, except I might catch will and wit. Then, I trow, I could tie them shorter, for they destroy wealth, health, and liberty by sin. If I had the thieves, punish them extremely I would.
You may soon catch them if you'll stand aside. For this place, these two will not long abide.
Methinketh I hear them come. Help to hold them fast.
Come in, wit, for here is nobody. We may be bold and talk largely of our hearts to ease, and show plainly what we have done.
I must needs laugh. I cannot forbear to remember war. That knave. Will you hear? The whoreson Fleming was beshitten for fear, because he should void so soon.
Hark, now do I marvel by this bread, for I ween, surely, that health be dead. I saw him go with a curter on his head, as he should go to hanging.
Hark in thine ear. If the whoreson hap to complain to him that wears the red cap, I fear then shortly he will us clap by the heels for our living.
Nay, nay, there is no doubt. By him I have reported all about, that he doth not well his good name to put out. Ill will cannot say well.
Friend, therein thou art the more to blame. To slander me wrongfully and undeserved. But, O thou the part, thou shalt answer for the same. Where is wealth and liberty? How hast thou them ordered?
Query kisses quest is un malt hombre. Me is un spianado con poco parlavere.
Thou false thief, is thine English tongue gone? As mischievous ill will and shrewd wit ye have destroyed many one.
Sir, hurt not me, and I will tell you the truth anon. This same is false, is as false a knave as ever came within St. John's.
Per amor de mi aspica un poco, eo queris anda por lactant creae so.
I cannot tell what thou dost mean, babbler, but thou shalt speak English and confess another matter.
Sir, I beseech your lordship in the way of charity, let not these thieves escape your hands. They have destroyed us utterly.
Sir, believe him not, he speaks but of malice only. We be true men. Thereof we shall fetch good witness, an honest man that shall be bound for him and me. The law saith plain, nulla fides contra testes.
That is truth. But who will be witness or bound for thee?
There is 3 among you in this house.
I will go fetch them quickly.
They will come and send for, I warrant you, if they wist. What be their names? Tell me what they be.
That one is John Irish and John Shola, but full these be honest men, all 3.
Trust not their words, they will dissemble still. They are so false and crafty. All their intent is ill.
Ye lie falsely. I speak but right and reason, and by the law of arms ye must needs be tamed. You are called good remedy, which at all seasons should lean to man's life and maintain the same. We be here both your prisoners, wrongfully accused by defame. Keep one of us fast, let him lie for all, that other for friends and witness go shall.
Sir, let him not go and leave me behind. He will ever be a false knave, for I know his mind.
Hold thy tongue, foolish knave, I do not mean so.
I hear now you cannot agree which of you should go.
No, by God's body, there shall none go but I.
Now playest the knave. It must needs be I.
Keep them safe, I pray you, for if they escape again, many men shall repent it. Shall be to our pain.
They be here yet. To keep them fast is mine intent. Have them away, both to prison incontinent.
Lo, false knave, this is for thy crafty wit. Now fast by the heels we are like to sit.
I am content so that I may have company. If I should be hanged, I would be hanged honest.
Go hence with them, and bring wealth and liberty.
Come away, ye thieves. Now I shall keep you surely.
Lock us up and keep us fast as ye can, yet ill will and shrewd wit shall be with many a man.
I am half ashamed that long it hath been said that noblemen by such wretches hath been deceived. They did rejoice and jest, and were very well apaid, trusting to scape clear and still for to have reigned. But now they shall not so. Let them be well assured that ill wit and shrewd wit shall have but ill rest, for whosoever they be, I will break their nest.
In the honor of God, we ask you forgiveness, all 3. We ought to be ashamed to look you in the face. By our folly and negligence we have done so unwisely. We were foully deceived. We put us to your grace. This shall be a good warning for us, a long space. When man is well punished, then he will beware. Who that knoweth what need is, will after dread care.
I may not blame you greatly, for by my own reason I know ill will and shrewd wit deceiveth great and small. If he can remember this, and beware another season, this is a good example and learning to you all. Now serve God and love him, and for grace ever call, and ill will and shrewd wit from you I shall abstain, yet have used them too long to your damage and pain.
Forsooth, you say truth. They did us great displeasure. Full hard it is to vanquish ungracious ill will. He is so crooked by flattery, dissimulation, and such other. Man's mind is so variable, and glad to report ill. I fear many one yet would have him reign still, for some unto their own will hath so much affection, yet the devil and ill will is both of one complexion.
Ill will is naught, but worse is shrewd wit, for he contriveth all subtle imagination. It were impossible for man else to do it. Shrewd wit breweth mischief and false conspiration. He hath put me, liberty, in prison and great tribulation. If it had not been for your good remedy and furtherance, I, and other that hath liberty, should have been in durance.
Be all of good cheer, and have no mistrust. The end of ill will and shrewd wit is but shame. Though they reign a while, wrongfully and unjust, yet truth will appear, and their misdeeds blame. Then wrong is subdued, and good remedy ta'en. Though falsehood cloak and hide his matter all, craft will out, and deceit will have a fall. Whereas you are now in distress, all three, near where ye brought in case like to mar, now have ye no doubt, if ye will be ruled after me, I shall restore ye again, as well as ever ye were. Wealth, keep still this realm. Look ye stray not far, and health, be of good cheer. Your disease I can soon mend. Liberty, now ye be released, do no more offend.
Now let us all thank God that good remedy hath sent. Trust to him only for his grace and goodness. We ask forgiveness of our trespass. I trust we will amend, and clean forsake sin, folly, and unthriftiness. Thus here we will conclude, sovereign of your graciousness, we beseech you to remit our negligence and misbehavior. There we have said amiss. We commit all to your favor.
And for your preservation heartily we will pray, your realm to increase with joy and tranquillity, that wealth, health, and liberty may continue here alway, by the oversight and aid of him that is good remedy, which willingly doth his duty under your authority, as part here appeareth, your purpose to maintain. God continue his goodness, that long he may reign.
Jesu preserve Queen Elizabeth, the noble princess worthy. Jesu continue her health long for to endure. Jesu endue her in virtue, grace, and honour. Jesu maintain the lords of the council to execute good remedy ever. Jesu speed and help all them God's honour to further. Jesu increase the commonality to prosper and do well.
Finis. Okay, this is a really interesting one. I mean, it's interesting. It's a good example of actually why we do a second look and doing something at pace, because unpacking this one, it's quite difficult to follow some of this in a way that we have been reading recently, going over some slightly earlier morality plays from the reign of beginning of Henry VIII's reign, which are doing slightly simpler versions of the same sort of general moral thing. And this one is a bit more abstract, and it's slightly harder to take in some of the information that's throwing at you. Now, I think in a staging, some of it will be a lot clearer, but it's interesting because we have, it's called Wealth and Health, but it really should be Wealth, Health and Liberty should be the title, because the three are important, and the three are your central sort of balancing act in terms of the things you want. You want your health, wealth, and liberty, and then you have a destabilizing factor coming in, and it wasn't actually very clear watching it as it came along that the different wills that we have divest themselves of the name ill will and shrewd wit, rather. Sorry, not will and wit. Divest themselves, doing that usual thing that we were talking about, interlude bingo, of changing your name to denote something differently to the people you're talking to, and that they're creeping into the Commonwealth and upsetting the apple cart and doing all sorts of horrible things. But that didn't come across desperately clearly to me watching it and listening to it and tweaking the text. So there's a slight exposition sort of problem there. And then, of course, we have the joy of Hans. Well done, Greg. I just want to read you a note from a reference guide, English Dramatic Interludes by Darrell Grantley, because as we were going along, I thought, I've got a bit lost. I think I'll just go back and check what Hans was supposed to be saying. He turns up twice. The second time, it's quite clear what's going on, because Remedy is being terribly xenophobic, and it's really clear what's going on in the scene. It doesn't really matter what Hans is saying. It's just important that you know what Remedy's saying. Whereas in the earlier scene, it was really unclear what was going on. And so the breakdown here in the text says... They spy a drunken Fleming, Hans, with whom they engage in a scarcely comprehensible exchange of words before he goes on his way. It's literally... the book I went to explain what happened in the scene doesn't know what happened in the scene either. I mean, even the other people talking to Hans, it's like nobody knows what that scene was. And that's the big problem with this play, is that we've got this scene which is there just to say, hey, England, aren't we better without all them foreign types coming over here and getting drunk? Which is quite a problematic narrative that we have today, and does all sorts of terrible things. I've talked a lot now to open to the room. Aliki.
In contrast to most, if not all, of the other morality plays we've seen, this isn't about individual salvation. They're always on about how it's England's wealth and health and liberty. So I don't think the random drunk and the xenophobia are that random. No. I think they're very specifically intended.
Yes. Oh no, absolutely. Sorry, that was.
No, I mean, I'm not. I'm clarifying. I'm not. Yeah, I don't mean to say that you were saying that. It's interesting that's why it's there. I mean, it is straight up there. The foreigners are taking all our jobs. I mean, the one bit that I did understand from the first scene is that Hans was looking for work, and they were like, "Yeah, no, go away."
Yeah, and it's something that that continues throughout the into the Elizabethan as well. This is this sentiment that keeps popping up, and every so often there's a riot, and people attack the various enclaves of foreign workers who've come over, and it continues to this day, and it's astounding actually how sticky this is as a political idea, and how awful the consequences often are. But yeah, this is a more active political frame here, and we've got lots of other morality plays that are doing this, where it's about the destabilization of the kingdom. We've got Albion Night, we've got Res Publica from almost exactly the same time as this. There is something of a shift with morality plays, especially ones where talking too much about God gets a bit sticky. Once after the Reformation happens, it becomes more of an issue to actively talk about theology in quite so direct a way. So if you're talking more about political thought in relation to elements of theology and morality, that's a slightly different direction you can take things in. Other thoughts? Sorry, again, I'm talking a lot. Elizabeth.
Yeah, I was just thinking for this type of play, it's a relatively small cast of characters.
Mm.
Because, I always thought there'd be much more. And then there was this lovely speech towards the end where I think it was Good Remedy was talking about deceit and all these other themes. And I was thinking to myself, they've actually kind of kept this quite close knit for a play of its type. Usually there'll be a lot more different, characters there, and then England would be a character as well, maybe as well.
That's I said this in the chat. It felt like the play needed a sort of more central England type figure. We have that in King John, the sort of the personification of the country, is there as an idea. And that would be quite nice. As an interlude play, it's actually got arguably a slightly too large a cast. It's because the printer has said this might easily double for 4, and that's presumably because the printer didn't read it properly. I mean, I kept sitting there going, "Oh no, maybe Remedy can double us." Oh no, Remedy's about to talk to me. Oh, maybe they can double it. And I've read somewhere that you could double down to 5, but you can only do that if different actors play the same role, so that the doubling works backwards, so that you share roles, which I don't really buy as a thing. Some people moot that for other interlude plays. I just don't buy it. So I do wonder about that, about how it might double and be made even smaller, but I just don't think you can do it sensibly. But it means you've got this weird random walk-on part of Hans. I suppose you'd want to give Hans a really small role because he's got to learn this stuff. Or does he just come on and go, do an impression of Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men, and just let everybody just step in and say words afterwards? Alan?
I'm just wondering whether, I mean, it's probably not the appropriate thing to say it's a clown role, but it feels to me like it's an actor who's got the shtick of doing the drunk character. He probably played the yokel last week in something else. And he's good at putting over gibberish.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really interesting text, this one. A thing to unpack, actually. I think because of that sort of xenophobic undertow, there's something that could be made out of this that would be, politically interesting today. I don't think you could play it straight, as it were, because of that. Because that's pretty much the thesis, isn't it? And that makes it quite a difficult one to just present. Other thoughts? Occasionally some nice lines, some interesting use of verse as well. Occasionally, there's a lot of breaking up of the lines in interesting ways. Lots of textual questions about what turneth means. Who's turning at what point? This is a stage direction question for the people watching this video won't necessarily get. But there are moments where it's either that the character is walked over and then suddenly turns themselves around, or they're turning another person on stage around. But there's one exit line or entrance line, which is there's an entrance line that is referred to turneth, so that might be returneth. So turneth. So there's all sorts of interesting questions about specific points in the text as to what physically is going on with some of those directions. Alan,
my feeling was that when it is so and so turneth so and so, what's happening is they're grabbing them by the shoulders. There's a group of people talking, and they just grab them by the shoulders and turn them so they're talking directly at them.
Yeah, it didn't quite work as a bit of shtick at that point, because I sort of went through it a few times trying to see, and other people have suggested that it's actually the character speaking who's turning, not the character speaking turning someone else, if that makes sense. But it's it's tricksy, and it's one I'd like to be able to do physically to get a better grip on. Other thoughts in the room before we close this session, because we're into final thoughts. Eric.
I thought that because the way Wealth was set up, I thought he was going to just sort of hit a wall and stuff, but then, sort of basically trip over his own greatness, so to speak, because I'm so amazing, but that didn't really happen, did it?
Other thoughts? It's really interesting what 30, 40 years does to a genre. As I said, the last one we were reading Youth and Hick's Corner very recently, and they're quite different. Elizabeth.
Yeah, I just thought Shrewd Wit and Ill Will had a lot of fun together, and they were a really good tag team. And I always feel like the bad characters in these things, in these virtue and vice plays, always seem to have more fun than the vice characters always have more fun than the virtue ones.
Yes, and in a sense, we've only got one pucker virtue here as well. I mean, in that sense, because when it first started, I was thinking that health is going to be virtuous and wealth is going to be evil, and that's sort of what threw me at the beginning of the play. When it turns out, no, actually, they're sort of just a balancing act of what you want in life. You want a bit of health, you want a bit of wealth, you want a bit of liberty, and Remedy is there to tidy everything up. Remedy is sort of the broom who sweeps all the bad stuff away. But I say, it doesn't quite have a centre to it. It doesn't quite have a focus, and it sort of just feels like, I think I said in the chat, it's sort of allegorical figure soup. They all sort of they're all muddled together a bit too much. Though I don't think it's unmuddled in terms of what it's actually trying to say. I just think it doesn't come across very clearly. Lynn.
Yeah. Related to that, it's so abstract. When you say it doesn't have a center, that also makes me think it doesn't really have. It doesn't have a protagonist the way youth or everyman or mankind does, and I think that's problematic. That's all abstractions, and there isn't a human character that we can kind of key into.
Yeah, because there is the earlier it's the play Wisdom, Mind, Will, and Understanding that has a certain similar decentralized allegorical structure, but I don't think any of the others are quite so diffuse as this one in that sense. But maybe that's just simply because after doing this for 50 odd years, which people have been at least 50 odd years in terms of text we've got, maybe people are just going, let's try something a bit different, and they're just flailing around the edges a bit. Because everything's going to start getting shaken up very, very soon after this play. Once we're into the Elizabethan, the morality tradition starts blurring with all sorts of other stuff very, very quickly. Eric.
I have to say I did like the thing of sort of, look, I am wealth, and you say it 10 times to make sure people know who you are, just in case they're drunk or something. Because we also had that in Hick's Corner, which we did recently, where Pity goes, I am Pity, in case you didn't know, I will tell you 10 times.
Yeah. Though in the case of wealth, I just think they just need to jingle a lot. They just got their bags carrying bags full of. You can hear wealth coming from a long way off, and there's a lot of thing about people being off stage singing or people referring to people off stage, and I just love the way it opens really nicely. The way it opens with a song and says, and it's like they're standing there waiting for the applause from the audience, and the audience don't react, and it's going, "Oh, come on, couldn't you do better than that, Alan?"
I'm just trying to remember, we did a play some long time ago in which Eric played Money, who inflated and shrunk over the course of the piece. And I'm trying to remember what the title of that one was.
Was that The Contention? It was The Contention of Liberality and Prodigality.
Right.
And we've had others which dance in a similar general area. So there might be fun to be had there. Right, well, unless anyone has any pressing thoughts, I'm going to close this session. You can wave and let me know otherwise. I'll say thank you very much, everyone. Thanks to all the wonderful readers for all their wonderful reading, and goodbye. Smoke and shit and arse together.